What's up, YouTube? My name is Steele Johnson. This YouTube channel for the past, like 9 years of my life has been vlogs. It's been diving. You know, we've filmed the Olympics together. We've gone through that whole Olympic journey. And I'm currently on the Olympic journey again for 2020, hoping to make the team. But, you know, after the past Olympics, I kind of was like struggling to figure out what I wanted to do with this YouTube channel. In the past 3 years, I've experimented with a lot of different things, but kind of kept it vlog-centric. And once 2020 rolled around, I just really realized that I'm not super passionate about vlogging. It's not something I watch as much as I used to. And so I'm wanting to make a change on this YouTube channel. For those of you that don't know, I graduated from Purdue University last year with a film and video studies degree, so I've got a film degree. I've done a lot of photography and filmmaking stuff in the past. That's what I really want to be pursuing with this YouTube channel right now going forward. Film and photography is something I've had a lot of passion for a very long time, so much so that I got a degree in it. And, you know, I've just taken a lot of inspiration from people on YouTube like Joe Greer, Corey Wolfenbarger, Matt Day, Negative Feedback, channels like that I love watching, and I love seeing their process of creating and making unique photos, whether it's portraits, landscapes, or street photos. And so I want to try my hand at that. I want to challenge myself to make videos this year. So at least one of these a week where I just go out and I shoot. I don't have the fancy film cameras. I'm just gonna be shooting on a Canon 5D Mark IV with a 24-105. I've got different lenses, different setups, but once a week I wanna challenge myself to go out and shoot and just keep it chill. I've got a GoPro on my chest. I'm gonna show you guys how I make photos, and I wanna grow at this. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. This video is gonna be focused on shooting monochrome. So I've got the 5D Mark IV, 24-105 f4. It's a super cloudy day in downtown Lafayette. And because it's cloudy, because it's gloomy, I thought it would be unique to only shoot in monochrome, shoot in black and white. I'm not gonna edit in black and white. I wanna see what I can do in camera and make the images look good. Downtown Lafayette, Indiana is not like New York City. It's not like a mountain town. It is very small. It's a very small town. There's not a lot of architecture. There's not a lot of art. There's not a lot going on that's easy to photograph. But to grow as a photographer, to grow as a filmmaker, I need to be shooting the things that are around me, shooting where I'm at. And so that's what I'm gonna challenge myself to do today. I hope you guys enjoy this. Let's go find some photo spots. So I'm shooting most of my stuff at f5.6 because it's so gray out that I just kind of want flat images. Again, there's not really much here to shoot, which makes it like the biggest challenge possible. Morning. I love this wall of art over here, but I never know how to photograph it. It's just hard because there's no depth. It's cool art, but it's kind of bland on photos. It's just a random bench in the middle of a grass patch. This could be the first interesting composition. Who would have thought a bench might be more interesting than a G-Wagon? Definitely not me. All right, how do I want to shoot this? I want like depth. My wife and I have used these steps for photo shoots a ton. I want to do a really deep focus on this one. Again, just not a lot to work with. It'd be different if there were a ton of people for street shooting, but as you can tell, there's no people ever. It's so cold. My hands are so red. Alright, I just spent about 40 minutes walking around and shooting downtown. There's not much, but it's not impossible. And I think that's what I wanted to prove to myself by coming out and making this video today, was that sure, the small town that I live in doesn't have the crazy architecture or people or landscapes like New York City or Colorado or Oregon or even like New Mexico, but it does have its own little charm that can still be captured. You can go out and make images where you're at. And I think doing it all in monochrome too was the best decision for me today. It is gloomy, it's starting to snow a little bit out, there's no shadows, and so if I were to shoot in color, I think all the colors just would kind of be flat. And yes, I know, black and white's pretty flat, and I shot between f5.6 and f8 the entire time, so there's not a lot of shallow depth of field, but there's depth to the images, and I think it's because it's a little more contrasty and just kind of in a two-dimensional plane. And I wanted to try this right now because I'm going to Madrid in like 2 weeks, and I want to street shoot in Madrid because Madrid is, from what I've heard and what I've seen, a beautiful city that has the architecture and the people, and I want to be able to capture it well. But before I can do that, I need to go out and practice in my own city. So I just finished going through all the photos I took today, put them all in the timeline on Premiere, have them all set up the way I like them, and I was actually kind of surprised at some of the compositions that came out today. You know, as I was shooting, I wasn't feeling very inspired because I really wasn't seeing a lot around me that I wanted to shoot. There weren't a lot of compositions that really stood out to me, except for the bench in front of that church. And that actually ended up being one of the photos I really didn't like that much, seeing it on a big screen. These three images were the three that I thought came out the best from today, and I'm happy that I actually got them. You know, being in a small town, it can be really hard to feel inspiration to go and street shoot, or feel like there really is an image out there ready to be made. But today I showed myself that there are images ready to be made. I've just got to step outside my comfort zone, step outside the box, and just make them happen. And that's what I want these videos to be. I want me to step out of my comfort zone, do the thing I'm passionate about, but be willing to fail at it and grow and learn to capture something better next time. Looking back over everything, I am so glad I shot in monochrome because I do think the overall gloominess of the day was really captured in the black and white footage, or in the black and white photos, and there really weren't any shadows today because there was no sunlight. I thought it gave it this desolate vibe, this empty vibe that I thought turned out really, really nice. And so that was my first street photography video. That was my first time actually shooting street photos in my hometown that I've lived in for nearly 8 years now. And like I said, I'm going to Madrid in a couple weeks and I want to do the same thing in Madrid. And I'm going to post another video before that happens because I want to post every Thursday, and members of the channel will get the video every Wednesday. So if you enjoyed this, be sure to give the video a like, leave a comment of which of those photos were your favorite, and also be sure to subscribe. Doing this first video has lit something in me that I want to continue to produce things like this, not because I like watching these videos, because I really enjoyed walking around in the silence today, going and taking photos. So if you want to join in on this journey and support what I'm doing, be sure to hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys next Thursday in the next video.